Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is a review for you people. It's a Netflix special. um, this was starring Jonah Hill, Lauren London, Eddie Murphy, Nia Long. Although we didn't get much Nia, and we gonna talk about that. But anyway, I'm not gonna give you guys a play-by-play, so this isn't a recap. And I know that's normally how I do my reviews, not when it comes to a Netflix movie or any movie for that matter. Like, I'm not gonna boom 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 and then this happened and then that happened and then this happened and then that happened. That's too much. That's too much. So we're gonna give you, we're gonna talk about how I feel. So this is like a real review. I gave the movie 4 stars. And the only reason why I didn't give it 5 is because, it had its there were some things that I didn't particularly, care for. Or I should say I could have gone without, But let's talk about the pros first. Let's talk about what I did like about the movie. I like that there were necessary topics that we touched on. I always, we can always appreciate the gems that are dropped in these types of films. We can appreciate that because, of course, it creates dialogue. It gives us YouTubers, us reviewers, a reason to sit down and, hash things out. And that's important. That's important. It's important to keep those particular conversations. It's important to keep that going because it's a generational thing. We all know racism is passed down. And so people need to see from both sides, both perspectives. Both sides should see, just what it's like. And, if we can get just a glimpse on screen, that's good. I love Julia as Jonah's mother. She did a great job. Me and my husband were saying that she's gonna nail this role. She and Jonah were funny, of course. There were, I thought that this would be a. Let me not. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna veer to the left. Let me stick with these pros. I did enjoy Julia as his mother. She was perfect. She nailed it. She nailed her character. Eddie also gave us range, where we always see him in a comedic role, whereas with this one, it was very serious. He was very serious. And he could have made this another comedic role because he could have been the over the top Muslim, that is funny. It has a comedic aspect to it as opposed to the serious Muslim, the Malcolm X type. It could have been a little bit more funnier. I don't know. He was very serious. Like, very serious. I'm like, I don't know how to take this. I don't know how to take it. Anyway, he did do a great job though with the role. This was like an ode to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. If you haven't seen that one, then you should see it. It's just like this one. It's just like this one. As far as the biracial couple is concerned, Sidney Portier. I really butchered that, didn't I? Listen, I'm not. My Creole ain't good. My French ain't good. Sidney Poitier. He stars in that one. And so it is an older movie. But this is what that gave, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, where the white family has to be accepting of this black man in their daughter's life and vice versa. I also loved the wardrobe choices. We cannot walk away from this without talking about the fashions. They were Chef's kiss. I love the colors that they chose. It was very bright and beautiful, you know, very, very bright colors. I loved it. The wardrobe choices were perfect. They really were. Okay, I hate to say we moving on to the cons. And that's all I liked about it. I mean, that's not really all I liked about it. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. I just thought that it was going to be more of a comedy. I really did. I really thought that I was going to be doing a lot more laughing. I did. Anyway, I felt like at some points it kind of got after school special-ish, you know, with those important conversations. Like, we don't have to drop them in the scene every time. Like, I understand how having those conversations on screen can bring about, you know, it can be triggering for some. And it can also make people feel uncomfortable. You know, it's kind of like, oh, here we go. Now we got to dive deep. I don't want to dive deep. I just want to watch the movie. I just want to laugh at the movie. I don't want to always have to dive deep and be sitting there thinking about, well, that pertains to my everyday life. Or that's very relevant to today's society. You know, and then you feeling away, you know? So we have to always have the after school special situation going on. We don't have to always do that. We don't have to always do that. I needed more Nia. Maybe Nia was working on one of her other mini projects that she was doing, because Nia's been working. Nia's been booked. She's been casted. She's been busy. And so she might have been doing something else, but I needed a little bit more Nia in the movie. Yeah, she wasn't around enough for me. I also, and I already talked about Eddie and his character kind of being a hard pill to swallow for me, only because I'm not used to him in this capacity. And as an actor, you know, you don't want to always be the comedian when you feel like you have arrived and you have got to a place in your career where you want to try some different things. You know, like, I can be the serious actor as well. I can give you drama. I can give you thriller, maybe. You know, like Eddie say in the latter part of his career, he gonna do it all, and I'm fine with that. It's just not easy to digest you in such a serious role when you're always in a comedic role. It really is. It really was hard for me. I was like, oh, he had an opportunity to like be funny, and yet he's serious. This is like seriously who the character is. He's serious Muslim. Serious. Anyway, I ain't trying to say he should have been a caricature or anything like that, but I don't know. I felt like this casting was off. Love Lauren. Nothing against Lauren. But Lauren would not have come from Eddie and Nia. And so it wasn't nobody else, you know, of a darker hue of brown to portray their daughter, or maybe even just brown skin. You know, like, she's not a full black woman. You know, like, she's biracial herself. And so what we doing? Like, why y'all could who I would have casted Issa Rae for this. She would have gave us the funny, you know, the awkward. She would have been perfect for this role. She would have been perfect for this role. It's ironic that I'm bringing up Issa, and she went out for Issa's role in Insecure, and it's like, no, girl, no. Anyway, again, it's nothing against her, and I just, sometimes Lauren just, I don't know. She's gonna have to go to more acting classes. She's gonna have to do a lot more working on the craft of it all for me. Um, I don't like a surface level one dimensional actor because it's like, you don't think you can give more? You just gonna choose to be type this person every time? I don't understand. I don't understand. And sometimes it's just not believable. It's just not coming off believable. Sorry if y'all can hear that man downstairs. I don't even know why we hollering out. I don't know why we making so much noise. Anyway, again, and some of this I've already said, like as I'm looking through the notes, most of us wanted it to be a comedy. Well, let me speak for myself. I wanted it to be, knee slapping type of comedy, especially when we got Eddie Murphy on the scene. And yet that ain't what we got. We laughed a lot with when Mike Epps came onto the screen. Of course, he's gonna always bring the comedy. He's gonna always bring the funny. But yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, for yin yang yang around the house. Do I want to watch it again? No, not gonna do that. But I will say that I enjoyed it. It wasn't a waste of time or anything like that. I really don't think that we always have to dive deep though. I really want us to we can create films and we can write movies and things and it not always have a racial undertone to where we have to sit back and think about the disparities and think about how we are systemically oppressed and all of that. Like why y'all want to take us there in every film with every movie every time? We could just laugh at the silly shit, at the fictional stuff, that could relate or not relate back to your personal life, or it could relate to the culture or not. Like, we can laugh, people. We don't have to always sit around the table and have these important discussions on screen, which create important discussions, off screen. And it's good. It's the catch-22, like it's good for the culture, for awareness and bringing, people up to speed. And then on the other hand, for those of us who are already up to speed and who are tired of, the revolving door and beating a dead horse, we're like, I just want to be entertained by something else. I'm here for entertainment. I'm not here to dive back into the fight. Anyway, but it honestly wasn't my story. I'm not biracial. I don't come from a biracial situation. And so for the biracial people, that was for y'all. That was for y'all. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here because I really don't have much else to say about it. I really don't. Like, it's not one of those. Like, see how they wanted us to go there, but I ain't going there. I'm not diving deep with y'all. I'm not diving deep with y'all. We already know it's hard for biracial couples. We already know that it's difficult for them. It's difficult for the families to blend in same race, situations. So I'm sure it's not an easy thing for a biracial couple. The takeaway from it basically is when and this is for biracial couples, for not biracial couples, for same-sex couples, for couples. You and your person, do you. Do you. Never mind what your mama think, what your daddy think, what your uncle think, what your cousin gonna say, what them people gonna say across the street, what the social medias is gonna say. Never mind all of that. You are marrying your person. And that is who you are choosing to be with for the rest of your days. If you're marrying them or not, whatever. If you choosing to be with somebody, then that's your choice. And everybody else just has to deal and fall in line. Or they can just, be loved from a distance. You got to set boundaries. You got to set boundaries and stick to them, period. That's the takeaway. So if we're going to dive deep and talk about anything, it's that. couples everywhere, all over the world, breaking up because so and so don't feel like, oh, I don't like that they're Baptist and we're Catholic. Oh, I don't like that they don't go to church and we go to church. Oh, I mean, even though. let me not even go. Let me pivot. Let me pivot back to the right direction. Back on the right road. I was going down the wrong road. Let me get back on the right road. It's about you and your person. You need to set your boundaries, stick to your boundaries, and that'll be that. You'll be happy. You'll be happy. As long as said person isn't abusing you, manipulating you to do terrible things, got you out completely outside of the will of God, then it's just you and your person, and that's that. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.